Without a doubt, if you have stumbled into my tavern, you are familiar with Norse mythology, or you at least are aware of it. But right next door, in the frozen fringes of Scandinavia, there is another country, with dutiful and resilient people who, in spite of their proximity to Norse countries, developed a lore and culture all their own. And some of their stories are truly unique and fascinating. So allow me to introduce you to the formidable and sometimes strange people of Finland, and some of their stories that I hold dear, as they were handed down to me by my grandfather. Finnish mythology, much like the land itself, is a strange combination of serene and foreboding. And the stories I will be taking you through today were born in the icy wastelands and mysterious forests of the Finnish countryside, passed through the generations and carried on in the spirit of the Finnish people. Now, most of these myths can be traced back to the Finno-Ugric people, of which there are a plethora, but that is not terribly important for the stories we'll be speaking about tonight. The Finnish people, similarly to the Celts, lived in a close tie with their natural environments, and therefore their beliefs were very deeply influenced by that tie to the natural world. And it results in a mythology that is very rich and broadly detailed, and unfortunately, we don't have as much of that mythology as we might like to have, but much of it lives on in certain texts that we will speak about later on. Unlike the more broadly known Greek and Norse mythologies, Finnish mythology isn't about grand battles or huge conflicts. It's more about the intricate nature between gods, nature, man, and how all of those things meld together. And each deity has a specific role that is very closely tied to an aspect of nature or daily life. For instance, the Norse gods were known for their warrior prowess, and the Greek gods for their dramatic tales and their keeping up with the Kardashian style of living. Whereas Finnish deities are almost always depicted as representations of nature, the wind, water, flames, and earth. Does any of this sound familiar to you?
Air, fire, water, earth.
And one of the most fascinating aspects of Norse mythology and Norse culture is a concept called sisu. Sisu is the Finnish term for the embodiment of courage, determination, and resilience. To give you a somewhat modern and cliche example of what sisu is, you have to imagine it is the tenacity that carried Rocky Balboa through his training. But then you have to blend that with the grit of characters like Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. And then just throw in a dash of the unyielding resolve of the classic characters of stories like the Odyssey and the Iliad. You see, Sisu is not just about physical durability, it's also about mental fortitude and the ability to face things head on, no matter the odds that are placed against you. It is a quality that has been celebrated in Finnish culture for centuries, and it is often seen as a defining trait of the Finnish people. In their mythology, the spirit of Sisu drives heroes to complete great deeds, to overcome great challenges and achieve overwhelming feats. And it's reflective of the cultural ethos of resilience and inner strength. Before we conclude, I would like to briefly touch on the influence that Kalevala had on J.R.R. Tolkien's writings. And of course, the Kalevala has inspired many great works of music and literary since then, but J.R.R. Tolkien is by far the most prominent figure. The characters of Tom Bombadil and Gandalf take some of their flowery nature from that of the hero of Finnish mythology, Vainamoinen. And the fact that many of the songs and stories in Middle-earth are sung is reflective of how Finnish mythology was handed on for many, many generations, and that was through poetic song. As a matter of fact, the Kalevala ends with Vainamoinen leaving Kalevala by singing a copper boat into existence. It's an absolutely brilliant and hilarious bit of the story, sort of sad, but also has an air of comedy to it. And furthermore, Finnish festivals also have roots in Finnish mythology. For example, the festival of Johannes, I probably butchered that, but it is the midsummer festival of Finland. And of course, it is steeped in traditions that honor the natural world and call upon the spirits of old, and make note of the importance of the changing of the season, reflecting the deep and almost prideful connection that the Finnish people still have today to their mythologies. In the next video, we're actually going to delve deeper into the creepy and disturbing aspects of Finnish mythology, going into the underworld, known as Tuonela, where we will meet some truly horrifying figures from Finnish mythology. And this is just the beginning of Finnish myth. It has so much more that is strange and incredible and interesting and strange. I think I said that already, but it bears saying twice. And I hope that I will see you the next time that we delve into Finnish mythology. So until then, my friends, I will bid you stay bloodthirsty, and I'll see you the next time that you stumble through these magic windows and portals into my tavern. Goodbye, my friends.